Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions. This week we bring back Dan Little. Hey Dan, how are you doing?
Hi Danny, I'm good. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good. Hey guys, right, so today we're going to talk about dealing with hijackers. Obviously, we mainly speak about marketing here. This is part of the marketing process because when we're stimulating for rank and we're doing giveaways, obviously we get them leeches that often pop up. So we need to work out a way how to deal with those. And Dan's got some great ways that he deals with them on the launches of his own products and existing products. So Dan, do you want to just quickly start? I mean, we had a conversation about this a couple of weeks ago. You mentioned A to Z claims and the fact that you buy up everyone's stock that's on your listing. So you just want to give us a little bit of background on that in the sense of the process you'll go through.
Yeah. So I think the traditional thing that you do with hijackers is send them a cease and desist letter and just basically hope that they will respond to that in a timely manner and disappear off the listing. The next step would be to maybe purchase one of their products, wait the potential 30 days for it to arrive, and then complain to Amazon and say that it's counterfeit goods. But I think, to be honest, I tried to think of everything in terms of problems as a way of turning it into a marketing solution. Mm-hmm. And I think that what I do differently is I'll immediately send them a cease and desist letter, but at the same time, I'll buy all of their stock. Yeah. And I'll do it through search and buy. So I'll search for particular keywords that I want to rank for, and then I'll buy like a chunk of 10 or a chunk of 15. Because as we know, buying more in one order counts towards a higher conversion for that.
Yeah, the average keyword order rate improves your conversion.
So if you can buy 10 or 15 units at a time through one keyword and you've done it properly like a normal customer would, then it's going to do nothing but benefit your search rank for that keyword. Yeah. So you get a little bit of a bump from that. But then also there's not really any risk in terms of losing money on the order, because at the end of the day, you know that that person is selling counterfeit goods. And once you do report them to Amazon, which we can discuss later on, then you will get your money back eventually. As long as you're happy to wait potentially 30 to 40 days to get your money back, then you're going to get all the benefits of the ranking in that time, and the hijacker has got no stock left, so they're not going to be able to sell to any of your customers, which means you won't get bad reviews for poor products. So it's win-win, really.
Yeah, so obviously you've built this up to a certain point. There must have been a time where you go, okay, I'm buying £100 worth of product, and then it's 600, then it's 800. I mean, where do you draw the line? Does it start to get...
I know. Well, the first one I did was for £280, and that was for someone who had 70 of a product. And for some reason, I was just lucky. I think they had priced them really low. It was one of these ones where they didn't just hijack my listing. It was like clearly a fake account, and they jumped on all of the best-selling products across all of the markets, all of the categories, and just basically priced them at $3.99. And so it meant that it was clearly a fake account, and I was like, happy days, let's buy loads of this stock, because it was really cheap anyway. But that was like £280, and that was the first one that I sort of did, and I thought, actually, there's a bit of a system here that you could sort of get in the back door here. And when that pulled through, and like 30 days later, I put in an A to Z claim and got all the money back, I was like, well, this clearly does work. And I saw the keyword ranking for all the keywords that I'd targeted. So, yeah, I think that there is it's a lot of money. I mean, the latest one that I just did last week was $1,800, and it was in the States. And that was a lot of money, and I'm still out of pocket for that at the moment, but I know that within 20 days or so, I should be able to get that back, pretty much a 99% guaranteed.
So have you had any that have fallen over for you? You know, the fact is, we know that they're counterfeit, you know they're counterfeit, but have you been in a situation where it's the back door out of your factory, so they've got all your branding on, so it's very difficult to tell the difference?
When you think about the actual risk, I haven't had any like that, and I must have done 5 or 6 different hijackers. And I haven't had any fail that I've got the money back. I've got every single one back. And normally they'll disappear off the listing and never come back. But I can see there could be a potential small risk here, whereby if you don't have a trademark on your brand, and you've got a hijacker that is overly ballsy and has literally copied your product, put your logo on, put all of your packaging together, put all of your inserts and everything, so it is literally an identical copy, or like you say, backdoor out of the factory. And so they are not technically selling a counterfeit product, because they are selling your product. and you don't have a trademark, so you don't really have a legal leg to stand on to say you cannot sell my product, that's where it would be a bit risky.
Cool.
And I think if I didn't have a trademark on the brand, I wouldn't be as confident doing it.
Yeah. So just talk us through the cease and desist thing. Any particular structure? I mean, we see this on Facebook all the time, and different groups, people provide letters and templates and stuff. I mean, how effective do you find these? Are they literally laughing at them because they understand the legal ramifications, or not in their case?
What I find actually is that the cease and desist letters do work as long as they get through. I would say of the 6 that I've done, five of them have probably immediately, when the cease and desist letter has come through, they've emailed, well, within 24 hours they've emailed back and said, I'm really sorry, we've removed the product, blah, blah, blah. But by then I've already bought all their stock. So some of those people just refunded the orders straight away and you got the money back straight away. But by then again, you've got the keyword bump. And some of them just did the cease and desist, took the listing down, but then you still had to go through the A to Z to get them back. So one of the guys was really ballsy and he just didn't reply at all, and that was one of the ones that I had to take all the way through the A to Z claim.
Gotcha. Right. Okay. So if we just back up a little bit, I just want to talk about the keyword bump. So just so that I understand, first part of it, you're doing a search and buy. Yeah. So you're using the keyword, takes you to the listing, you buy up those products. The idea is that as long as there's no limitation on the listing, that you can buy these products in bulk, which obviously you control. The second part of that, we understand that in terms of conversion rate, average order value makes a massive impact on conversions. So what you're doing is by ordering 10 or 15, you're driving that up on that particular day, which will hopefully give you a bump on your main keyword. Yeah. So there are benefits of that, and especially if they are marking down the price really low. So that's how we can turn to advantage that way. So you just mentioned that you took one all the way through the A to Z. I mean, out of, I think you mentioned half a dozen that you've done, is that the only one that's had to go the full distance?
I've had to take a few through, but none of them have had to go right through the process, because basically the A to Z claim is that once the estimated delivery time has passed, so if, for example, you'd ordered, 15 of the product, and then it said that it was going to be delivered by latest 20th of September. Yep. On the 21st of September, you can then go into your order list within your personal Amazon account, go into your orders, and then next to that order there'll be a bit that says like file a claim or dispute or something like that. I can't remember exactly the words. If you click on that, once that time has passed, you will be able to file a dispute. And basically you just tick a box to say like the product never arrived, or the product was defective. I mean, the product was counterfeit or something like that. There's basically a few checkboxes that you'll need to fill in, and then a little note. And the first step is that goes to the seller, and they have, I believe, 3 days to respond and give you a refund. And if they then don't respond within 3 days, you can go back in, which is a manual process. They don't remind you, so you need to put this in your diary. Go back in, and then you can escalate it to Amazon. And what I've had is I've had maybe 2 or 3 where I've had to escalate them to Amazon, and they have within 24 hours refunded them. I've had maybe 1 or 2 other ones where the seller has responded within 3 days and said the order has now been refunded. Because if they are just doing this as a one-off, and not like the other guy who was doing it with everything for $3.99, which was clearly a fake account, then they might actually want to do something to defend their account, because they know that if they get A to Z claims, that is literally the worst thing that can happen to your account. Yeah. And no doubt you would get suspended if you got multiple ones of those, especially if it's a huge order of lots of units. So it's in their best interest to make you happy. Yeah. But if they clearly are just a fake account and they're literally just putting in fake tracking numbers, which I have had, then you would have to take it right through. But then Amazon,
that's what I was going to bring it to. You know that with the fake tracking numbers, is there any way early doors? Because ultimately what this is about, this is cash flow, isn't it? You know you're going to get your money back at the end of the rainbow 99% of the time. It's just going to be a matter of how long. So is there a way of speeding this up in between? Example, can you converse with these hijackers? Have you created pen pals with them and say, look, I'm going to do A to Z? And then
the few that I've had to take right through, they just don't reply to anything. They don't reply to the cease and desist. They don't reply to, they clearly within a few hours have marked your order as dispatched, and it's normally a Turkey Post tracking number, which are like one of the ones that's easy to fake. and they just don't respond to anything, and they're a fake account. You go in, you look at their storefront, you have a look at all their other products, and it's like when they're selling everything for $3.99 across multiple categories, like thousands and thousands of products, and they've got no seller feedback. It's just launched, and they've got a really weird name. And then normally within a few weeks, you go back in and look at their seller feedback, and they've got tons of 1 stars. All their products have been suspended while they can't sell them anymore because loads of people are saying never received anything, blah, blah, blah.
I'll tell you what I've done in this case scenario, because there was a trend where people were doing just launch and appearing on your listings, like you said, at a low price. I actually shot a video, like a screen grab video, and articulated the whole thing to the scam to seller support, and then done a follow-up phone call, and they got removed. So there is a way of doing that, because what you end up doing is you click through to their store and say, look, take a look at these products. Each and every one of these are either the same price, or they're 70-80% cheaper than any of others, or they go the other way where they're more expensive. So I said, this is clearly fake, because there is no way, if you match these products across the marketplace, that the pricing doesn't add up. There's a continuality of the scam here throughout thousands of products. And if they're just launched, there's no way they're going to be able to launch all those products manually in the last few days, etc. So in that case, I've had stuff removed from before. Is there any other tips to deal with this as well? Have you found any other little hacks that speeds up that whole process at all in terms of getting it resolved?
Not really, to be honest, mate, because I think, like I said, it does count on that you have to wait until the estimated delivery time has passed. And generally with hijackers, you'll find that it says dispatched from China or dispatched from somewhere far away. Yeah. And therefore they get a lot longer lead time on the actual delivery. So you'll find that it's normally at least 20 to 30 days before you're expecting to receive the goods. Yeah. And from the moment they dispatch them and put in the tracking number, then Amazon will deposit the cash for the order into their Amazon account. And I really don't understand how it all works on the other end. Because I know if you set up a brand new account in Europe, for example, you get a €15,000 cap before you start to get your account review, your initial review, don't you? And then you'll also have velocity reviews. So if they have all of a sudden started selling tons of products, their account with the money in it will get suspended anyway. They'll not be able to remove it until they start getting positive feedbacks. So I really don't understand how the scam works on the other end, because if all the money's going in from all the sales, but then they just get loads of bad feedback in A to Z reviews, then how are they even getting that money out?
Do you think it's because they've got the ability to set up multiple accounts? I mean, the advantage is that they know how to scam the system to create more than 1, 2, 3 accounts. Therefore, they know that if they do that spread over a number of accounts, they can get rid of all that stock and walk away clean from it. Or even if they get caught out, they can move it to another account. And if it's a scam and they're not going to send any stock anyway, they're never going to be out of pocket. It's 100% profit, isn't it? So
no, well, and I think my point is that I just don't know how they get the money out, because it goes into their FBA or their merchant fulfilled account within Amazon, but then how they get it out is another question. I don't know whether basically the scam is that they just rotate them until they get up to the €15,000, then they'd withdraw it, and then they're away and they start a new account, like you say. I'm sure they can start multiple accounts. There's virtual private servers and all these things you can do these days. So I don't have any doubt that they'll be able to do it. But I just think it's a bit, it's small change, really, isn't it? If they haven't to do this all the time, I suppose it's €15,000, so. Yeah,
that's true. What about? Is there any other advantages of turning the hijackers to your advantage at all, or we pretty much covered them with a search and buy?
Yeah, well, I think that's the only thing that I'm doing at the moment is this search and buy and just getting rid of all their stock. But no, I don't really think so. No.
Cool. Is there anything you'd like to add before we go? Anyway, how people can reach you, what you're working on at the moment, etc.
Yeah, I mean, you can reach me through Dan at 60minutelaunch.com. That's the course that I put together on ranking products on Amazon, which I'm actually in the process of updating right now. So it might be a good idea to hold off a couple of weeks until it's updated. Other stuff that I'm working on, we've got the Lion Cow plugin, which is to match reviews to orders, and we're next week going to launch our second tool with Lion Cow, which is called Lion Cow Spy,
Yeah.
And that one is to get your competitors' back-end search terms instantly through the LionCow website.
And what's the LionCow? Is just lioncow.com, is it, the address?
That's lioncow.com, yeah.
Excellent. All right, Dan, thanks for joining us today. Guys, again, thanks for joining us. Please remember to like, subscribe, or click on the bell for updates below. Otherwise, we will see you next week. Take care.